Hey Art Therapy friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about the go-to graphic tools to help you build visuals for your art therapy brand. And don't worry, they're going to be user-friendly so that any beginner can get started with just creating graphics for their website. So let's go. I'm going to first go over and explore some of the graphic tools that I think would be very helpful for a beginner like yourself. So creating creating graphics in general, requires to have a digital software. So there is online browsers out there that you can use to create your graphics. I'm going to be sharing some user-friendly graphic tools that you can get started today with in creating any sort of designs for your art therapy brand. So the first one that I do want to share is Canva. So Canva is basically an online software that you can design basically any form of marketing materials that you need. So whether it's social media posts, whether it's a banner for your website, or maybe even for your social media profile. I believe you can create posters in there and actual Instagram wheels. So this Canva is a pretty robust tool for a beginner as well, because they have a library of graphics that you could choose from, and they give you templates that you can just put your designs in there and call it a day. It's very efficient, especially for someone like yourself that might not have a lot of time to get going on, creating their brand, and to, assess, your clients and etc. So this gives you a library of things that you can just pull from, and it gives you the opportunity to have a little brand system inside of Canva. So it's pretty great, for its, opportunity of getting yourself out there. And obviously it's free to a certain extent, so it's going to give you, a certain amount of limitations when you're on the free version. But I don't have enough information in terms of how much the price is for Canva, but from what I've gathered, it's basically a build what you want type of platform, and it has all the essentials that you need to get started. The next tool I want to share is Freepik. So Freepik is a website that offers graphics, so graphic packages for free. They are, I believe, royalty free, so you can use them in any of your design work and not have any copyright infringement issues. From what I've gathered, they are okay to use, and they give you all the files that you need to create designs. I believe they have like a PDF version and a JPEG, those types of files that you can use, and you can always import those probably into Canva as well, but I'm just assuming at this point because I haven't tried myself. But Freepik is something that has a lot of variety in different graphic images. It's kind of like stock photos, but it has strictly graphics on there. So illustrations and icons, things of that nature that you can grab from. So if you need to build your website rather quickly and you need icons, you can go there and pick whatever icons you need. So that's actually very good and efficient for now when you're just starting out. Another really good tool to start building your graphics is Unsplash. So Unsplash really is a photography platform, but it's way better than iStock. They have a library of images that you can use for, royalty free as well. And they have a free and paid version as well with some of these images. So you can use them in your website and have them as a backdrop for any, spaces that need to be filled and you might not have any imagery to fill that. So that's an interesting way of doing quick, DIYing for photography cases. If you do want to, try and have a little bit more flexibility in your, designs, there is Inkscape. That is a free open source graphic design tool. And I believe it's compatible with Mac and Windows. So you can download it. It's absolutely free to use, and there's no copyright infringement or anything against it. And you can create all sorts of things in there. Basically social media profile pictures or posts. I don't think it does wheels because it's more of like a graphic software, but it gives you more flexibility of creating things. It's just there might be a learning curve by going that route if you are okay with that. You can also do Procreate. So Procreate is another graphic design tool, and it has the similar learning curve to Inkscape, but it does give you more flexibility to play around and be more intuitive with your designs if you're trying to go for a hand done look. Procreate can be that best friend for you. There's another one as well that is very similar to Procreate and Inkscape. It's basically Photopea, and they are kind of like Photoshop, but a free version. And they have the similar tools to Photoshop, and it gives you the tools and essentials that you need to design or edit photos. So that is a big win. The only downfall is that it's in a browser. So you're going to have ads and stuff, but I mean, it gives you the essentials that you need to just get, a graphic done really quick, and get your, graphics prepared for the web. That is a great tool for just getting something, done quick, or just something to play in on a free scale. So let's just say that maybe you don't have a lot of time to do any of those programs that I've mentioned, and you just want something completely done already, and you just want to place pictures right into the document and just call it a day. There is a place called the Creative Market. And with that, you have packages of illustrations and graphics. And I don't know if they do photography, but they have icons as well on there that you could just buy, and they're not very expensive. You can buy a package and they'll give you a ton of illustrations that, do match and look really nice together. It's just knowing what your aesthetics is, that's all. But they give you a good variety. So if that's something that's for you and you want it just quickly done, you just want color and illustrations together, and you don't want to make any more adjustments, they already have it prepared for you. So that's a great marketplace for just grabbing and going. And if you're in the realm of choosing colors and you're not really sure, where to go for colors, I would say go for colorlovers.com. They have a library of different colors that you could choose from, and these are colors that designers actually put together, that you could just pick whatever one feels calls to you, that feels really good to your brand story and message, that you can pick that one and go for it. It will give you the color codes and everything, and all you have to do is just copy and paste the codes and you're done. So that's a very go-to tool for picking colors and making things very simple. And then my last one is Google Fonts. So if you are looking for getting fonts and very quickly, and you want to make sure that they're safe to use for the web, then definitely use Google Fonts, because they have a very good library of fonts that you could choose from, and they have all different types as well, from like cursive to very clean. and very classic, some that are a little bit funky if you want personality. They give you a whole bunch of different ones, and they are safe for the web, and they're free. Well, I think they're free to use. Yeah, they're free to use, so I wouldn't worry too much about, trying to find, a font that is not expensive, really ambitious, and you want to, take on the learning curve. There are, two other graphic programs that are pretty much to the highest standards of professionalism, and that's obviously Adobe Creative Cloud and Affinity. But I'm not going to go too in depth with those because they are very heavy in technicality, and if you are, not willing to do, the learning and such, that is a deeper learning curve there. So just something I wanted to share, at least on a scale from, free and friendly to a little bit more technical and robust. I want you to, go with what you're comfortable with, because even though I've mentioned all these amazing tools today, go with what you're comfortable with and what's going to make your time, more efficient, right? Because if you don't have time to create graphics and you just want something that is templatey and just plug and play, then, definitely Canva is the best solution for you at this point. Or going to the creative market and just buying a package of illustrations that meet your needs. But again, know your skill level, know the time that you have, because that is going to play a big role in, making graphics that are going to be appealing, right? We don't want to rush through our graphics if we just don't have the time or the skill or the knowledge to even approach that just yet. A reminder as well, too, when you are looking for graphics, whether it's in the market or whatever Canva has to offer, anything like that, just make sure that you're remembering and thinking about your ideal client when you are picking these graphics. Because sure, it might have a really great price tag and it might have such a great style, but if it doesn't tick all the boxes of your client's preferences, then just be aware that that might not be the graphics to use, right? Because we all want to go for the free stuff, but if stuff is just not aligning to your brand message and your ideal client, don't waste your time, right? Because you want to make sure that there's a return on investment on your side to say, okay, I'm going to buy these illustrations or I'm going to buy these icons, and I want to make sure that they're going to speak to my people, very much, so that the money that I get paid for it is the money that I receive in return, something like that. Because you don't want to you don't want to cheap out on your visuals, because people gravitate to that, right? And visuals is a universal language, so you want to ensure that the visuals are going to be accommodating and that you feel comfortable posting them on your website and within your brand, and ensuring consistency, and that you want to hold your identity with those graphics. So just be very mindful about all those little things, because we can easily and instantly go for the free stuff, like in a blink of an eye. But we just need to stop and think about, hey, is this going to resonate with my people? Does it resonate with my brand? Am I okay and comfortable with using this? And with picking, graphics that are from, Canva or from a marketplace, you might, and I mean, this is natural, to pick, from different areas, right? So maybe you liked a graphic from the marketplace, and then you liked another graphic from Canva, but when you put them together, they're completely different things. So I just want you to be aware that that can happen, and to make sure that you make the effort to clean up these graphics by editing them. So maybe you just have to change colors, or maybe they just need a cleanup. So maybe you might have to remove a background, or maybe you have to clean up some of the lines. I'm not sure, but these are things to be aware of, because essentially, if they're not clean and they don't match each other because they're from different worlds, you got to make sure that if you're going to do that, to ensure that they match and to ensure that you make the effort to edit them accordingly. And again, you can use Photopea to make those edits and clean up the visuals. That's a free open source browser software that you can use to clean up your images. I believe Procreate can be another one to clean up your images and make edits. Other than that, I would just be very careful with how many pictures you're going to be putting together from different sources, because they have different effects, they have different looks, and they have different moods. So in the end, I just want to close off the video about saying consistency is key when it comes to designing graphics. And the resources that you find, just make sure that you're reflecting on everything that you are collecting to say, okay, is this matching? Is this the right mood and the feel that I want my brand to emulate? There's a whole bunch of, reflecting to really do when you are selecting graphics that are already pre-made, because you don't have the control to make those changes or redraw it, because it has a different essence. So when you do it from scratch, you have a better control of how you want the graphics to be perceived. But again, when you're looking to a marketplace, when you're looking to Canva or anything of that nature that's already pre-made, just be very cautious about consistency. All to just experiment and have fun, okay? So yes, I've told you, countless of times to say, yes, be aware of this and be aware of that. And I don't want you to feel like you're going to be coming into this with full of anxiety. I don't want you to feel that way. Do your best. This is all about having fun and experimenting and trying out different platforms, trying out different programs, and finding, different art styles, because really the whole idea is just about making sure that the overall process is fun for you and that it's not going to be frustrating at all. This is usually my favorite part, just because I'm a designer. But on your side, feel free to just play and have fun. If you have to just kind of let go of trying to make things consistent, it's okay. Just pat yourself on the back. But again, building a brand image is definitely going to require you, to grow and be consistent in your visuals. So even if you're DIYing it right now and might not have all the tools in the toolbox just yet, graphics of a certain extent is still good and is still needed, of course, because you can't just have text all over your website. You need to have some kind of visual to make things interesting. So I hope that today's video was helpful and that all those tools that I shared today is something that you can use in the future for yourself. So again, thank you so much for tuning into today's video, and if you have any additional comments, leave them in the box below, and I'll be sure to answer all your questions. All right, have a good day, and I will see you again real soon. Bye!